Hey champions, it's Chum here. I know it's been a long time since I made a video, but today we're going to jump in and talk about all the brand new Pokemon leaked from Pokemon Sword and Shield, and there's a lot of them to go through, so I'm going to try and be as quick as possible. So without further ado, let's just jump straight into it and start off with the starters. And of course, as you guys can see here in this first picture, we have the evolutions of both Grookey and Sobble. Now, the Grookey evolution is called Thwackey, and the Sobble evolution is called Drizzle. Now, I think Thwackey's pretty damn cool. We saw the whole concept of Grookey holding and wielding the stick, and now he's dual wielding those sticks, which means he's probably going to be some kind of drummer, and you'll see a little of that in the future. But looking at Drizzle, you can see Sobble went from being a really cute, kind of shy, Pokemon to being an edgelord. He is an edgy anime character at its finest, and I love it. But yeah, I think it's a really interesting, stark change. Thwackey changed a little bit, but damn, Drizzle changed a whole bunch. Either way, let's move on because we've got to keep this video quick. And the next Pokemon we have to show off is the final evolution of Grookey, and this Pokemon is called Rillaboom. Like I said, this boy is dual wielding sticks and has got a big drum in front of him, and he looks like an absolute unit. He is huge, he's got a thick head of leaf hair, I guess, and I think he's really awesome. Probably one of my favorite starter designs of this generation. I think he's absolutely incredible, and I can't wait to see what kind of unique sound-based grass type move he's going to have, because if I haven't mentioned it already, this entire line is pure grass type, and same with every other starter. They're all pure fire, pure water type, no secondaries, which is interesting because we haven't had that since Generation 2, but still quite cool. Either way, let's move on to the next Pokemon. We have the final evolution of Sobble. Now, this thing is called Inteleon. As you guys know, Sobble can go invisible, and what do you do when you can go invisible? You become a spy. And Inteleon is a spy chameleon, hence Intelli for intelligence, and Leon for chameleon. So, a really, really interesting Pokemon, although to be honest, I'm quite disappointed. I was really hoping this thing would be super, super badass, and I think the fact that this Pokemon is bipedal, standing on two legs, and it has that weird sassy slouch pose that it has, I'm not really that about it. That being said, I have seen some really cool artwork of this Pokemon, kind of sticking to a wall and on four legs and looking really badass, and I think that's so cool. But the fact that this Pokemon's default stance is, standing tall, really lanky with sass, I'm not too much about it. But still, not a terrible Pokemon. Either way, moving on to the Scorbunny evolution line. And so here we can see the first evolution called Raboot and the final evolution called Cinderace. Now, looking at Raboot, what I see based on the fact that he has something covering his mouth and it looks like he's wearing a headband, he looks like he's some kind of edgy teenager, wannabe ninja weeaboo person. It's so strange. And what's even weirder is that he evolves into what looks like a soccer-playing rabbit, literally straight out of Looney Tunes. It's insane. I think overall the designs aren't that terrible, but they aren't very inspired either, so I don't know. Not too excited. Still on the fence about which Pokemon I'm going to choose as my starter, but I definitely think that I'm leaning towards Rillaboom because he looks pretty badass. He's a unit. He looks like he's going to have some cool, unique move. I'm really excited. Either way, let's move on to the basic bug Pokemon of the generation. On the left, we have the first stage called Blipbug, which is just, your average little caterpillar creature, and it's just pure bug type. And then it evolves into Dottler, which you can see on the right, which is a bug and psychic type Pokemon, which is really interesting. And you can see it's kind of like the cocoon form. It's got a hardened shell around it now, and this thing, when it evolves, is awesome. Look at this final evolution. Look at it. Look at it. This thing is called Orbeetle, also bug psychic, but look at it. It is like some kind of evil mecha ladybug creature, and I love it. There is nothing else I can say apart from I love this Pokemon, and it is potentially my favorite Pokemon of this entire generation. I think it's so cool. Speaking of cool, let's move on to the next Pokemon. You guys love Wooloo. Well, tell me what you think about Dubwool. Now, this Pokemon, of course, is the evolution of Wooloo, also a normal type Pokemon, and I gotta say, I think it's really cool. It kind of reminds me, of course, of Skidoo. It's got those giant horns, and I love the horns that kind of seem like tusks that come out from the bottom of its wool. Very fluffy, very cool, looks pretty powerful, but I think Wooloo still look more adorable. I think if I was going to catch one of these, I'd want to keep it as a Wooloo, because Wooloo is just so precious, and I love it. Either way, speaking of normal type Pokemons, let's move on to another normal type Pokemon. We have Squavit, I believe is how you pronounce it, on the left, and then we have its evolved form, Greedent, on the right. Not too sure, what this Pokemon are about. We can see they're kind of like squirrels, and I gotta say, dude, Greedent, the one on the right, literally looks like it came out of a Disney movie. It's actually the little wildlife creature that befriends the princess and has a goofy smile on his face, and it's just actually straight out Disney. But hey, it's not terrible, not truly incredible. It's just a basic normal type Pokemon, but maybe he'll have some cool moves. I'm seeing Super Fang, Hyper Fang, but hopefully something unique. Squavit looks like he has some nuts in his mouth, so maybe he's gonna have Bullet Seed as a move. We'll see what happens. Either way, moving on to another, what seems like an early game Pokemon that is really damn cool. We have the pure Dark type line of Nickit and Thievul. So Nickit is the left one, and it is the first stage, and then Thievul is on the right, and it is the evolved form of Nickit. Now these Pokemon, if you can't tell, have a really interesting like robber kind of theme. You can see they both have like some like dark masking covering their eyes, and then their feet look like they're wearing little boots, and it looks like they're kind of dressed to be like stealthy and steal stuff. So really interesting design. And if you look really closely at Thievul, you can see he has like a really interesting little mustache. Like I'm imagining like a French person with that mustache you can kind of like pull along and like curl and stuff like that. And he just seems like a really interesting and cool Pokemon. I can't wait to see how good this Pokemon is going to be. Definitely a really cool design. I love foxes any day of the week. I think they're really awesome. But yeah, definitely a solid Pokemon, and I'm definitely about it. Either way, moving on to one of the most solid Pokemon in this generation, we have the Corviknight line. So looking at these bird-type Pokemon, it definitely looks like Corviknight is going to be the evolution of the basic bird Pokemon that you find at the beginning of the game, and I love it. So the first evolution is called Rookidee, which is, I guess, like a rook. That's kind of the theme we're going for. And then it evolves into Corvisquire. Now, both these Pokemon are pure flying, which is quite interesting to me. They're listed as pure flying. I'm going to assume that they're flying normal, because Tornadus is the only pure flying Pokemon we've ever had in the entire game. So if these two were actually pure flying, I would be absolutely shocked, because, I mean, the whole point is that you use Roost, and you stop being flying typing when you have no typing. So I think they'd want to avoid that, so I'm going to assume it's flying normal, but when it does evolve, it becomes Corviknight, the absolute unit who is flying steel, as you guys know. Love this Pokemon, can't wait to get one of these on my team. I'm definitely using one every single time I play through this game, and there is nothing you can do to stop me. Either way, moving on to the next Pokemon, we have Yampa's evolution. Now this Pokemon is called Boltund, or Bolthound, one of the two, not sure how you pronounce it, but a very interesting design. Honestly, as a fan of Yampa and its corgi design, I'm not too happy with Bolthound. It just seems like a basic dog, not too much really going on. I feel like its eyes look kind of weird, because it has the Yampa eyes, but then it also has whites around it, then it has yellow around it. It just seems kind of spooky. I'm not too sure how I feel about it, but overall, it could be worse, and hey, it's a dog Pokemon, and dog Pokemon are always great. Either way, moving on to our next pair, we have a pair of snakes. Now, the first snake, I believe, is called Silly Cobra, which sounds weird because it's like Silly Cobra, but it's like Silicobra. I'm not exactly sure how you're supposed to pronounce it, but these are both ground type Pokemon, and the evolved form is called Sandaconda, which I think is a really interesting name. I'm not too sure what their niche is going to be. They seem quite basic ground type Pokemon, but we're going to learn more stuff as the game comes out, so it's going to be super awesome, and I'm very excited. Now, moving on to the next Pokemon, we have the pre-evolution of Dreadnought. Now, this Pokemon, oh my god, dude. This Pokemon almost rivals Magikarp for the best glow-up in Pokemon Evolution's history. Seriously, look at this thing. It's got a tiny little body, a big-ass head with a pinhead. It looks like it has a goofy, like, buck tooth. I am just like, bruh, this Pokemon looks like the biggest loser. No offense to this Pokemon, I think it's adorable, but also it looks like, you know, you're going to send this kid to school and he's going to get bullied. I guarantee you, if there's ever a new Mystery Dungeon game and this Pokemon is in it, he's going to be the guy at the school getting bullied because no one likes him. Look at him. He's going to get bullied. He has a monobrow too. But then this crazy little water-type Pokemon evolves into the absolute unit that is the Rock Water Dreadnought. So, hey, you know what? It's a glow-up, and I respect it. Shout out to you, Choodle. You're a dope Pokemon. Either way, moving on to Impidim's evolutions, we have these amazing creatures. So its first evolution is called Morgrem, also a dark fairy type, and it is an edgelord. It is like the, you know, mid-show antagonist in an anime who's like really edgy, and then once he gets pushed to the brink of his like absolute darkness, he becomes Grimmsnarl, the absolute unit. Again, also dark fairy. It looks like a really crazy, powerful, big Oni-like Pokemon, and I love it. Really cool design. I can't wait to get one of these in my team. The green coloring, I'm not that big of a fan of, so maybe shiny will be awesome, but bruh, so cool. Either way, moving on to the next two Pokemon, we have the evolutions of Roly-Coly. Now, these two are called Carkol on the left, which is the first evolution, and then Colossal on the right, which is the second evolution, and both these two Pokemon are now Rock Fire, which of course is an additional typing on the original just pure Rock Roly-Coly. Overall, I think these Pokemon are really damn cool. I love the designs. Colossal is a little bit too much like Rhydon and stuff like that, which I think is quite interesting, or really Rhyperior to be specific, but I can't say I'm not against it. The only thing that I don't like about this Pokemon is its eyeballs, because look at each one of them. So you're looking at Carkol, he has those really big, sharp, ghastly looking eyes, and then like Colossal has some really like small, like, you know, soft looking eyes, And then Rolly Colly's eyes, which I'll put up on screen as well, he has this like really big, angry, like glowing orange eye, and I'm like, bro, why don't the other forms have these eyes? They look so much more menacing and cool, and I don't know, that's my only gripe with it, but overall, really cool Pokemon. Anyway, I'm behind on time, we need to pick things up. Let's move on to the next Pokemon. We have two beautiful bug fire type Pokemon. We have Sizzlipede and we have Center Scorch. Now this Pokemon, I'm really excited to see how powerful this can be because I think the design is absolutely incredible. The only problem with this Pokemon, of course, being a bug fire means that it's going to be bodied by Stealth Rock. So hopefully it has some really strong competitive, traits that make it viable in competitive play. Otherwise, Stealth Rock is definitely going to be its downfall. Either way, really amazing design. I believe this thing also has a Gigantamax form, which looks to be really huge, and I can't wait to see it. And definitely want to catch one of these and hopefully run on my team if it's any good. Either way, moving on to the next Pokemon, we have some pure water types here. We have Arrokuda, which is the bottom right first form, and then we have the Barrascuda, which is the top left evolved form. And these two Pokemon look pretty damn awesome. We've had a lot of like just fish Pokemon over the years, but somehow they managed to keep coming back with brand new Pokemon that still managed to be really cool and really unique, and I can't wait to see what these Pokemon have as their, unique traits. And if you guys aren't aware, if you guys remember Cramorant, the water flying Pokemon that, catches a fish and spits it out at its enemy when it gets attacked, Arrokuda is the Pokemon it catches in its mouth. So shout out to Arrokuda for being featured in other Pokemon's design. Either way, moving on to the next Pokemon, we have some badass octopi named Clobbopus and Grapploct. So Clobbopus is the pre-evolution and Grapploct is the evolution, and these Pokemon are awesome. And if you can't tell by their names like Clobble and Grapple, these two Pokemon are actually pure fighting types. Despite being sea creatures, that being said, you can't turn every single creature into water type, otherwise we'd have way too many water types. In fact, we already do have way too many water types. Overall, I'm really excited about the designs. I think Clobbopus looks amazing and Grapploct looks badass. It looks so powerful, so fierce. I'm hoping it's not a really small Pokemon. I want it to be quite sizable, like 3 to 5 feet tall. But overall, really damn cool Pokemon. I love it. And don't even get me started. If this thing was 7 foot tall, I'd be horrified. I'd never want to be in the Pokemon world. It's so cool, but also so damn scary. Either way, our next Pokemon we have here is the pre-evolution to Alchemy, which is Milcery or Milcery. I'm not too sure. I feel like Milcery makes more sense, but it's spelled with a C, so I'm a little bit confused. But yeah, overall, I think it's a really interesting pre-evolution. It's like the unwhipped cream. You know how Alchemy is a whipped Pokemon, like a whipped cream Pokemon? This is just the cream by itself, and it honestly looks horrifying and looks like it doesn't want to live. It looks like a fetus, which that was not something I should have said in the video, but you know what, we're sticking with it. It just looks really creepy. You just gotta take a whisk and you gotta whisk it up, and then you'll get yourself a beautiful Alchemy, which I believe has a bunch of different forms too, so, or like colors. Very cool. I love Alchemy, I definitely want to get one myself, and of course, if you guys don't know, this of course, just like Alchemy, is a pure fairy type. Either way, moving on to the next Pokemon, we have the pre-evolution of Polteageist, I believe is the name of this Pokemon, and this pre-evolution is called Sinistea. Now, same as the evolution, it is just a small ghost-like blob that, possesses a teacup and then evolves and possesses a teapot. I don't know, interesting design, pure ghost type, just like its evolution. And yeah, it exists, I'm about it. It's not that bad, not that amazing either. But speaking of amazing, this line we're about to see is honestly one of my favorites in this entire game, just because it's such a cool concept. Imagine if a witch's hat was the source of a magic. That's what you get with this line here. So we have a magical hat line, the first of which is the top left named Hatenna, who is of course psychic type. Then we have its evolved form Hatchrim on the bottom left, and then finally we have the final evolution, which is Hatterene, and it is a psychic fairy. So very similar to like the Gardevoir line in terms of like psychic fairy. And I love it. I think this Pokemon is a really cool design. I'm hoping it's competitively viable and hopefully it has its own niche that varies from Gardevoir. I don't want it to be Gardevoir but worse, but I also don't want it to be Gardevoir but better. I'd like it to have its own niche, so I'm hoping it has a really cool moveset, maybe a supportive moveset. I don't know what's going to happen with it. Well, either way, I think it's amazing. It's a beautiful Pokemon, and I hope it's good because I want to use it. I love it so much. Either moving on to another set of Pokemon that I think I wish should be really good are these amazing elephant Pokemon. The first of which is called Cuffin, and it's a steel type, and its evolution is called Copperaja, which is also a steel type. Very, very cool Pokemon named after their steel type being, of course, with the names of metals. Of course, copper being a metal. I'm not sure what Cuffin is named after. I guess it is what it is. But really cool. I always love elephant Pokemon. I love Donphan from a long time ago, and of course, I love Phanpy. They're both amazing Pokemon. So hopefully these elephant Pokemon are also equally viable. Either way, moving on to the next Pokemon, we have a brand new typing that I absolutely love. This is Ice Bug type, and look at how majestic this creature is. On the bottom left, we have Snom, of course, the first evolution. This is effectively your Larvesta, and then we have the evolution called Frostmoth, which is effectively the Volcarona. And this thing looks amazing. It looks so majestic. It looks so beautiful. It looks like its inner body can like open up and its have little arms and stuff like that. It looks like it's going to be so cool. I cannot wait. Beautiful Pokemon, 10 out of 10 design. I can't wait to have this in my possession. Then, moving on to the next Pokemon, we have something called Ice-Cue, which is really interesting. I guess it's kind of like Ice Rescue combined, and you might think that these two are like a pre-evolved and evolved form. Nope, definitely not. Apparently this is a single Pokemon with a single entry in the Pokedex, and it has two different forms, one with a giant block of ice on its head, and the other form where the ice has gone away and it's got its own little sad head. And I'm not sure what the niche is of this Pokemon. I'm sure its ability will play into this trait, but it's so strange. We've had some crazy cool Pokemon that are based off penguins in the past, like Empoleon and Delibird, and this thing is just kind of like a sad ice block, really. And I don't know. I'm not really that about it. Maybe its ability will kind of shine light on it and make it really good. But for now, I'm mildly disappointed by its design. Either way, moving on to something that reminds me a lot of Meowstic, we have a brand new Psychic Dark Pokemon called Ididi or Ididi. I'm not too sure what it is, but basically, it is actually one Pokemon with two different gendered forms. On the left, I believe we have the female, and on the right, we have the male. You can kind of tell by like the hair, kind of looks like different hairstyles. Of course, also you have these markings around the eyes, which have colors that would kind of relate somewhat to the coloring of the gendered icons. So really, really cool Pokemon. I definitely could tell it was Dark type from the start, but to find that it's Psychic type was actually quite surprising to me, because I figured, you know what, they're really kind of on the nose with this being Meowstic 2.0, but hey, I'm not judging. Either way, moving on to the next Pokemon, I'm definitely going to judge. I don't know what the hell this thing is. It's called Phalanx. It's a fighting type Pokemon, and at first I thought this thing was like a caterpillar, because when I first saw them, all the little guys were lined up, but now you realize it's not a caterpillar. They're actually all separated like their own little army with a leader at the front, and it's like they kind of remind me of like Romans or Spartans, and it's just like, bro, what the hell is going on? I don't understand. I don't know what this Pokemon's about. All I know is it looks really interesting, and I'm keen to see what the lore about it is, and if it has any kind of unique moves that go along with its special traits. It probably has Beat Up, because that move is about, you know, gang up on your opponent, and there's a bunch of them, so maybe he has Beat Up and he can use it in a cool fashion. I don't know. Either way, moving on to our next Pokemon, another Pokemon that does not have an evolution. This Pokemon is called Pincushion, or Kurchin, which is interesting because it sounds like the name is Pincushion, and I guess it kind of looks like one, and this is a pure electric type Pokemon. Not really too much to say about it. It just seems like a sea urchin that zaps people, and I don't know, it seems it's going to be a Pyukumuku meme where it's just like, this exists, it's here, it's funny, cool, now go catch Pokemon you can actually use in battle. I don't know, maybe it's good, it could be really good, I'm not sure, but I'm not sold just yet. I'm going to see some pretty special things when the game comes out for me to be sold on this Pokemon. Otherwise, speaking of a Pokemon that I am sold on, we have Stonehenge the Pokemon. I don't even know how to say this, I think it's meant to be Stonjourner, which doesn't sound like an English word, it sounds like a foreign word, I don't know. But yeah, very interesting Pokemon. Apparently it has a secondary typing that is unknown according to my list here, but it definitely is rock type, and I think it's really cool because this thing is based off of some kind of ancient relic that we humans today don't really understand fully yet, and I think it'd be really cool to see how this Pokemon and its ancient origins might relate to the story of the new game. So I'm definitely excited to see what this Pokemon's all about. I think it looks really great, and I don't know, I'm really excited. Either moving on to the real fire Pokemon of this video. These Pokemon you're about to see are absolutely insane, and I completely love them. First of all, we have the amazing duo of Toxel and Toxtricity. So as you can tell by the middle Pokemon's coloring scheme, it is a poison electric typing, which I believe might be the first of its kind. Very, very cool. So of course you have Toxel on the far left, the little like dinosaur looking creature. Absolutely adorable. I love it so much. It's so cute. I want to have one. Also poison electric, but the electric doesn't kind of show as much apart from the little lightning bolt in its forehead. And then this thing evolves into Toxtricity, which has two separate forms. One that looks to be a charged form, and one that looks to be an uncharged form. So this Pokemon might have some kind of interesting design or interesting mechanic based on its ability that will allow it to change between charged and uncharged, changing its traits. Maybe uncharged is no longer weak to electric type weaknesses, but charged does more damage. I'm not too sure. Really, really interesting. It's going to be awkward going up against ground types because you're absolutely going to get bodied with 4 times weakness. But still, really, really cool Pokemon. I think it looks so badass. Like, look at it, it's smug. It's looking down on you, and I love it. I think it's so cool. You're very powerful, like punk-like Pokemon, and it's a poison type, so a poison punk, it makes so much sense. It kind of seems like the perfect Pokemon for teams like, you know, Team Skull and stuff to use, but it also seems way too powerful for them. So I don't know, we'll see what happens. Either way, moving on to the next Pokemon, we have the beautiful Apple line that we have here. So the first one on the left, we have Applin, which is a grass dragon, and then this thing breaks out of its apple, becomes Flapple, which is also a grass dragon, and then it becomes the biggest boy called Apple Tonne, again a grass dragon. Really, really interesting and a really, really cool concept, basing a Pokemon off of a fruit. I absolutely love it, and there's apparently rumors that Applin doesn't actually evolve into Flapple then Apple Tonne, but it can evolve into either, which is crazy to me. But yeah, I'm definitely keen to see what this Pokemon is all about, and keen to see what kind of moves it has. I'm excited. I love dragon types, and I love when they mix dragon typing with interesting typings like grass. Either way, speaking of dragon types, let's talk about the pseudo-legendary of this region, and we'll start off with the first one because you need to see the story of this thing's evolution. First off, we start with Dreepy, who is a ghost dragon, very, very cool, and then this thing evolves into Dracloak, which is also a ghost dragon, but look at its design. There is a Dreepy on its head. It's almost like it didn't evolve, it just kind of grew a big tumor called a Dracloak underneath its body, which just doesn't make any sense. But it'll make more sense when you see the final evolution, because this thing called Dragapult, is absolutely awesome. It is again ghost dragon type, and it's like a floating dude with like, I don't know, a plane jet wings, and it has launchers that shoot Dreepy out of its head. I think that is so cool. I absolutely love this design because it doesn't seem bound by normal real world animals. It's just something really, really genuinely unique that they created, and I love it. I think it's overall phenomenal that these Pokemon have maintained some form of like excitement or some kind of uniqueness despite there already being over 900 Pokemon. So very, very impressive the Pokemon designers of this game. You did a really great job. That being said, there's one thing you did that's absolutely horrendous, and we're about to talk about it right now, and that is the fossil Pokemon. So basically, how fossils work in this game is you don't actually get, fossil A or fossil B. You get halves of fossils. So you have, fossil A, fossil B, fossil C, and fossil D, and then you're able to combine them together just like this picture shows and make interesting creatures. So you combine Zolt and Draco for Dracozolt. You combine Draco with Vish for Dracovish. You combine Arcto with Zolt to get Arctozolt, and of course you combine Arcto with Vish to get Arctovish. But goddamn, the concept is cool. I love it. But oh my god, the end results are all horrifying. None of these fossil parts seem to they go together. They all seem like absolute abominations that do not want to exist. Look at Arctozolt. Arctozolt is an ice type, but the electric part of its body is so cold that it's got a frozen drip of snot coming out of its face. Like, bro, this creature is not meant to live like this. What are you doing to it? Like, I feel like they're all saying, please kill me. Look at Arctovish. Its head's on backwards. It can't love its life. What the hell is going on? What is happening? And then Dracovish, instead of putting the head of the Vish on the body of the Draco, they put it on the tail. What is this creature? I don't understand. All I can tell you is that I'm only going to get Dracozolt because Dracozolt actually looks almost like a normal creature. It's not, but it's close enough, I guess. I don't know. I like the concept of combining fossils and making these like almost fusion Pokemon, but oh my god, they made the designs absolutely horrifying. And now that we've talked about horrifying designs, let's talk about some really cool designs, and let's talk about some legendaries. So here we have a picture of Zacian, and you might think, hey, this guy looks different because he's missing all of his armor and his sword. Because it turns out these Pokemon have a armored form and a non-armored form. So you can see Zacian, who is a fairy type Pokemon, very, very cool, is a hero of many battles. It is known as a legendary hero. This Pokemon absorbs metal particles, transforming into a weapon it uses to battle. So very, very cool. These Pokemon, like I said, they take in metal particles and they become their knightly form, which I think is really, really cool. Zacian looks amazing like this, and it makes sense now. He doesn't have a sword in his mouth permanently. Like, it's something he quote unquote picks up, or like, it comes up. It's not just welded to the bottom of his mouth, which is very cool. But dude, you want to talk about cool? Look at this beautiful monster. Look at Zamazenta. Look at Zamazenta without armor. It's amazing. If you look at this picture and think, hey, you know what, Zacian's still my favorite, I don't like you. You're not my friend. Because how can you not think this is the most amazing creature in the world? I want a dog in real life that is this. I want this, and I want to die in its arms. That's how I want to go out. I want to be killed by Zamazenta. You heard it here first. This Pokemon is amazing. And there is no better way to die than being eaten by this beautiful, majestic beast. I love it so much. While I didn't think that the shielded form or the armored form was absolutely incredible, I thought it was cool, but not the most amazing thing in the world. This is perfect. This is exactly what I wanted to see when I saw the the wolf heads on both the Sword and Shield logo. So very, very exciting. I'm hoping that these Pokemon are also battle viable. Like, there's a benefit to not using the armored form, and there's a benefit to using the armored form, so you can pick and choose whichever version you want. Or maybe it changes in battle. Maybe you start off in battle as the regular form, and once you fulfill certain conditions in battle, you transform into the armored form. Will be very, very interesting. And also, like we saw Zacian being the fairy type, we have Zamazenta as the beautiful fighting type Pokemon, which it is, and I love it. I can't wait to see it. And of course, when these two armor up and they have their full forms out, they both gain steel typing. So fairy steel for Zacian and fighting steel for Zamazenta. Very, very cool Pokemon. I love them. Now, speaking of cool Pokemon that you may or may not love, that are very confusing, we have Eternatus. Now, dude, I don't know what the hell this creature is. It looks so exotic and alien, and it's so insane. It looks like Necrozma on steroids. Like Necrozma and Deoxys had a baby and they created this creature. That's what I'm thinking of. Because, oh my goodness, what the hell? What is this creature? Is that a rib cage? Is that a wing? Is it a tail? Is that another wing? Why does it have a weird, like, head thing? I don't know what's happening with this monster, and I don't understand what it's supposed to be or what relevance it has to the story. Maybe it's some kind of virus. I don't know. It looks crazy. But you want to talk more about crazy? Look at this other form of Eternatus. I don't know if it's evolution. I don't think it's evolution. I think it is a transformation or a Dynamax form. I don't know. But it's freaking insane. A lot of people have been saying it looks like a Dynamax form, but me not seeing any of the clouds that you typically see above a Dynamax Pokemon or a Gigantamax Pokemon, I don't think so. That being said, it also has the color scheme of those clouds and of that, Dynamax energy. So maybe it is one. Maybe it's the original Dynamax Pokemon, and the power source used to actually Dynamax Pokemon in the region is from this Pokemon itself. I don't know. Sounds like a theory. Maybe I'll make a video about it. I'm excited. But yeah, I think these games are absolutely going to be incredible, and these Pokemon designs are off the chain. Either way, we're 28 minutes deep. I want to wrap this up really quickly. In fact, I'm going to wrap this up here, and I'll make this a video talking about the Galarian forms separately. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. And of course, if you guys want to see more content from this channel, you want to hear me talk about Galarian forms, you want to hear me talk about all the brand new Gigantamax forms, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe. And of course, let me know what you guys think of all these Pokemon that I've showed you today. Which one's your favorite? Which one's your least favorite? Overall, do you think the Pokemon designs in this game are good? I personally think the Pokemon designs in this game are absolutely incredible. 900 Pokemon in, and they're still coming up with really unique, interesting ideas for Pokemon, and I can't wait to see what else they come up with, and I can't wait to see how amazing this game is going to be, how this game plays. I'm so excited. The game is less than 2 weeks away, and I could not be more excited. Either way, we're going to wrap this video up like I said. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I tried to make it as quick as possible. Hopefully a 30-minute video isn't too overwhelming for you guys. Either way, I am going to wrap this up. I hope you guys are happy to see that I'm back making videos again, because I'm definitely happy to be making videos again, and I can't wait to see what you guys think about this content. Like I said, let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you want to see more, so like, subscribe, and until next time, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.